So here we are. The date is finally carved in stone, and the fandom is already holding its breath. March 20th, 2026. After nearly 4 years, BTS is coming back as a full group, and the machinery behind it is shifting into a gear we've never seen before. This isn't just a comeback, it's a cultural reset in the making. And the first shot was fired not with a single, but with a stark, minimalist notice at midnight on January 5th. No fancy trailer, no cryptic symbols, just a formal announcement from Big Hit Music that dropped a payload of information and left the entire industry scrambling to process it. 14 tracks, a world tour, and a clock that started ticking down immediately on a mysterious new website. But behind the sheer euphoria, a more complex story is unfolding. One of immense pressure, strategic warfare, and a fandom bracing for a bloodless battle that will redefine concert ticket hunting forever. Let's break down that initial announcement, because the wording was anything but casual. Big Hit stated this album holds special significance as it marks the direction the group will take going forward. Think about that for a second. This isn't framed as a nostalgic reunion or a victory lap. This is a statement of intent for the next chapter. The members were deeply involved, infusing the 14 tracks with their own thoughts and colors, musically expressing the emotions and struggles of their journey. The translation said it's filled with music that's most true to BTS. So the immediate question the fandom is screaming is, what does BTS sound like after all this time? After solo explorations, military service, and global icon status. The speculation is chaotic and beautiful. Online theories are flying. Will it be a return to their hip-hop roots, a maturation of the Map of the Soul sound, or something completely new born from this hiatus? The company is cleverly framing this not just as new music, but as a manifesto. They're acknowledging the gap and using it to build a bridge from the past to a future they're about to define. And with 14 tracks, they're promising depth, a full-length novel, not a short story. Fans immediately compared it to Map of the Soul 7, which had 19 tracks, and the debate began. Is 14 enough? Is it leaner and more focused? The number itself became a catalyst for 1,000 conversations. But the album is only half the earthquake. The other half is the tour, and the strategy around its announcement is psychologically fascinating. Big Hit didn't reveal the dates. They revealed the date. They will reveal the dates. January 14th, 2026 at midnight KST. They have literally launched a countdown to a countdown. This has done two things simultaneously. First, it sent ARMY into a coordinated planning frenzy, marking calendars, warning employers, prepping devices, and internet connections for what is universally expected to be a digital war zone. The term Hunger Games is being used not as a meme, but as a literal forecast. Second, it created a controlled pressure valve for the market and the media. It gives news cycles a second wave to look forward to, ensuring the hype doesn't peak in January but builds relentlessly through March. The launch of the dedicated comeback website, with its stark red and white design and live countdown, makes this feel less like a promotional cycle and more like a NASA launch. It's institutional, serious, and monumental. Every second ticking down is a reminder. This is event television, but for music. And then there are the physical installations. When photos surfaced of the front staircase of the Seoul Performing Arts Center, Sejong Center, completely wrapped with BTS and the March 20th date topped with those 3 red circular structures from the teaser image, the message became concrete, literally. This isn't a bus ad or a billboard in Times Square. The Sejong Center is a national landmark, a venue for state-level cultural events. Securing that space signals something monumental. Industry watchers immediately connected this to reports from late 2025 that HYBE was coordinating with public institutions to stage this comeback in the most symbolically powerful spaces possible. This looks like phase 1. The speculation now is wild. Will there be a live launch event here? A broadcast? A government-endorsed ceremony? It positions BTS's return not merely as a K-pop comeback, but as a national cultural moment. The line between entertainment and official culture is being deliberately blurred, and it suggests a scale of rollout that has no precedent. Now let's talk about the fandom ecosystem, because it's reacting with a fascinating mix of joy and tactical anxiety. The moment the notice dropped, Weverse crashed. Major fan community servers on platforms like Discord and Twitter saw traffic spikes that melted digital infrastructures. This was a stress test, and it showed the dormant beast of collective attention is very much awake. But the real buzz is analytical. Fans are dissecting every past comment, every stray photo from the members over the last year for spoilers. Jimin's sunset photo from November 2025 is now being hailed as a teaser for the album's color palette. Old live comments about studio time are being re-examined. The 3 circles on the teaser image have spawned a universe of interpretations. The sun, the Korean flag's Taega, 3 worlds, solo, unit, group, a new logo for a new era. This detective work is part of the ritual, the communal bonding that turns a marketing campaign into a participatory culture. At the same time, a nervous energy buzzes around the tour. Stories of the 2019 Speak Yourself ticketing bloodbath are being passed down like legends to newer army. Guides on using multiple devices, securing presale codes, and navigating international ticketing platforms are being drafted and shared. The fandom is mobilizing like a standing army awaiting its deployment orders on January 14th. The financial markets are telling their own story, and it's a masterclass in how Wall Street and Hongdae sometimes speak different languages. On the day of the announcement, HYBE's stock price didn't skyrocket. It dipped. To the casual observer, this seems insane. The biggest news possible causes a drop, but analysts saw a classic sell the news event. Rumors and anticipation had been building for weeks, driving the price up. The official confirmation was the cue for short-term traders to cash in their profits. But look closer, and the story gets interesting. While other major K-pop agency stocks fell harder that day, some down 6 to 9%, HYBE's drop was relatively muted. Why? Because the market now sees HYBE's value as fundamentally tied to this specific scheduled catalyst, the BTS comeback and tour. The real inflection point, as investors are noting, is January 14th, when tour details and thus potential revenue projections become clear. The dip is seen by many as a potential last buying opportunity before that next wave of concrete financial data hits. The market is essentially holding its breath, waiting for the tour map. How many stadiums? How many legs? The answers will translate directly into valuation. It reveals a cold truth. In the eyes of the market, BTS is both an artistic force and a singular, unparalleled economic engine. Stepping back, the broader implications of this rollout are massive. What HYBE is orchestrating is a case study in post-hiatus legacy act management, but on a scale never attempted. They are reactivating a fan base that has both matured and expanded during the hiatus. They are navigating a media landscape that has changed dramatically since 2022, with new platforms and new rules. And they are doing it by treating the comeback not as a simple album release, but as a phased global event. The staggered information release, album details now, tour details later, maximizes media cycles. The use of high cultural physical installations elevates the brand beyond pop. The dedicated website centralizes the narrative. This is a military-grade campaign. So, as we sit here, 74 days out from the music and just days from the tour blueprint, the feeling is one of suspended anticipation. The questions are huge. Will the sound meet the sky-high expectations? How will the tour dates be distributed, and will the ticketing system survive? What do those three circles really mean? But one thing is already clear. BTS and HYBE are not just picking up where they left off. They are leveraging every ounce of their absence, every moment of misconnection, to build a comeback that aims to be larger, smarter, and more impactful than anything before it. The story of 2026 isn't just about 14 songs. It's about the reclamation of a throne in a new world, and the first moves have already shown they are playing a completely different game. The countdown is live. The war for tickets is coming, and a chapter that will define the second act of the biggest band in the world is being written in real time.